Should we sing? Are we?
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. So basically, as we talk, I want you to talk to me like you're talking to me.
Okay, sure.
Don't.
I'm not. I won't. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because actually, we've never met. And,
Right. So this is
and-
natural to
yes,
talk.
because I have no idea what you're going to
Right.
say.
Right.
And I'm going to throw in the timer just so I kind of have an idea of how long we've gone. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, Lydia, can you just give me briefly how your view of food has changed and what caused that to change?
Yes. Well, I would consider my family. We always have eaten well and like what I would say like mainstream healthy eating. But about 5 years ago, our daughter Ruby was diagnosed with neuroblastoma, which is a childhood cancer, and she had a softball-sized tumor on her left adrenal gland, and our pediatrician just found it during a regular exam, and right then and there, we didn't know we didn't do anything to cause it. The doctor was very clear about letting us know it was you guys didn't do anything wrong. It's just we don't know what causes this kind of cancer. And so after that, she had a surgery to remove the tumor, and then she had to go through 8 rounds of chemotherapy. And she was just a little 6-month-old baby, and went through all of that. And right away, we were like, there's got to be something we can do to help her get better after the chemo, because chemo is just harsh stuff. And so we started talking to people. We started watching some of the food documentaries, and things like that. And my mom bought us a good old Jack LaLanne juicer, and we just started juicing like crazy. And she, during her entire treatment, we were doing stuff like that with her. And she got sick one time, and that was it. And the doctors were pretty amazed by that. And then pretty much it changed the entire way our family ate. And we'd stopped eating sugar especially during that time right after her treatments and stuff. And so we started getting an organic share through a farmer and stuff like that, so that our vegetables were all locally grown and organic, and we weren't dealing with all the chemicals and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Did you find that the process was hard?
I've always been interested in healthy eating. So I think people get intimidated by it because they think that they're going to have to go to their, through their cupboards and fridge and throw everything away, and that it's just this really complicated procedure. But I think when you just start adding things into your diet, and then when you go out shopping, replace those items that you've already gone through with better quality items, it's really not, it's not as bad as people would think. And it's not like a scientific, complicated thing. It's just buying real food and trying to stay away from food that's been messed with. Just eating food in its purest form, the way it was intended to be eaten. So it's shocking how many people are so comfortable with eating stuff and they don't even know what's in it, and they're putting it into their bodies. And we've just found that by eating well, you prevent sicknesses, you get better quicker. If you have been sick, you heal faster. And so.
And tell me about your daughter today. How old is she?
She's 5 years old now, and she'll be starting kindergarten in the fall. So she's very excited. I'm very hesitant, just because after something like that, you're very protective, and you just want to savor every second you have with them, because you realize how fragile life really is. But I know she's in God's hands when she goes to school, and she'll be safe. And but yeah, it's amazing when you I think she sees the benefit of it, because we talk about it a lot, of eating well. So it's nice because she doesn't really fight eating good foods with us. She just does it because she knows it's good for her, and she'll feel better if she does it. So, yeah.
Talk a little bit about how, like, maybe your friends or family reacted to your movement in this direction.
Yeah, I would say our family was very supportive of it, and they understood why we were doing it. And my mom especially, she's always been really into that kind of thing anyway. So she's completely switched the way she's eaten also. My husband's family, not quite so much, but they're just good old Southern Iowa folk, and they still like casseroles and stuff like that. But other than that, they've been very supportive, and we've had, some friends think that we're kind of wackos, but it's, to me, it's, you kind of learn who you can kind of talk about it with and who's genuinely interested and who not to, and you just kind of go about your business, and it's received well with some and it's not with others. And it's funny how it kind of, you don't want it to be like such a personal thing, but it kind of ends up being that way a little bit.
Have you found outlets for support for you and your family as you go on this journey?
Outlets for support, like
what kind of people have you turned to for information, because I can imagine as a parent it can be kind of a lonely place if you don't have other people who know what
Right.
your mission.
Right, exactly. Fortunately, most of our neighbors are pretty healthy eaters, and we exchange recipes and things like that. And our senior pastor at our church is actually very holistic, and tries to take care of things naturally before he goes to the doctor. So a lot of times we just ask him questions and consult with him if anyone's sick, or what to do in certain situations. So yeah, I feel like we have a lot of support in that way.
And as you started your journey, where did you turn to for information?
I think the first thing that really hit us was when we watched Food Matters. I feel like that the documentary just really kind of easily laid out a good way of eating and explained disease well and explained pharmaceuticals well, and that just really helped us understand it. And I'll read articles and people's blogs and stuff like that. It's not really like I guess now I just feel like we're to this place where I just kind of know it's not too complicated. You just eat what's real and focus on that, so I don't know.
I love the quote, "Eat what's real."
Yeah, just eat real food.
So, okay, so
Yes.
now we're gonna, Sherry, have I missed anything?
Maybe just ask if you could give another parent who's facing something, any advice, what advice would you give?
Okay, so what would you say to a parent who is facing what you were facing?
Yes, if I were to talk to another parent that whose child was just diagnosed with this, I would tell them that it's you ultimately are in charge of your child's health care. Doctors will try and tell you what you need to do, what you don't need to do, and they don't tell you a whole lot about nutrition, and some stuff you're just going to have to seek out yourself. I definitely think with cancer, it's a scary disease, and there's not a cure for it, but it does seem that in some cases it's preventable if you can help it, by eating well and stuff. I would just encourage them to make sure that you get lots of opinions, and go with your gut a lot of times. If something doesn't seem right, you're the one that's in charge. A doctor really, they can recommend things for you to do, but you're not bound to them, and you don't have to do every single thing that they say. So we had great doctors. I'm not trying to rip on doctors or anything like that. We had fabulous doctors, and we received really good care. But anything nutritional, we really did have to seek out on our own. And just a really simple thing is just don't eat sugar, because it's proven that glucose feeds cancer cells. And I feel like that in itself is a very simple thing to do. And if you think it's hokey, it's not going to hurt you to not eat sugar, and you'll feel better because of it too. So,
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you the very first question I asked you, and I know you're repeating the story, but I'm gonna ask you to repeat it.
okay.
So what was the journey that caused you to change the way you eat as a family?
We 5 years ago. Do you want me just to?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, so just, okay,
Five-
so what
yes.
started that, and pause for a second.
Yes.
before you start.
Okay.
So what started your change, your journey to eating
More fun. About 5 years ago, our 6 month daughter Ruby was diagnosed with neuroblastoma, which is a childhood cancer, and we were it changed our family forever because the first thing we tried to think of was what was there something we could have done to have prevented this, and we were a pretty healthy family, like I would call just mainstream healthy, where we didn't eat fast food all the time, we didn't drink pop, but we did eat other things that weren't very good for you. And so during the course of her treatments, we were trying to do everything we could to keep her body as healthy as we could so that not only hopefully would the cancer go away faster, but also we didn't want the bad side effects from the chemotherapy. And so we just started researching. We talked to our pastor, knew a lot about holistic medicine, and recommended right away that we not we not give her any sugar at all. And so that was the first thing we did. And then just as time went on, we just started taking certain things out of our diet and adding better things in, and just became more aware of it. And we're not perfect eaters by any means, but I feel like most of the time we're eating what we should, and it's helped our entire family be healthier, not get sick as much. Nobody has weight problems. Everybody's skin is good. Everybody's sleeping good. Yeah,
Huge benefits.
huge benefits. Yeah, and I think people have become so used to being uncomfortable. Like I think like a lot of my friends just think it's normal to kind of be bloated and have headaches all the time, and it's like if you ate what you were supposed to eat, so you would be just a much more comfortable, happy person. But I just don't think some people just really don't buy that your food affects your whole being so much.
So you are what you eat, in your case, has become, you've seen the real effects of you are what you eat.
Definitely, yeah. It's when you see people that switch and within a week they're already sleeping better, they're going to the bathroom better, their skin gets softer. It doesn't take long, and you start seeing benefits like that. And maybe some things you've become so used to having wrong with you, and then when it goes away, you're like, oh, whoa, I didn't realize that wasn't normal to always have that feeling or be I think another big one is people are always complaining about tiredness. And when you're eating what you should, you don't have fatigue during the day usually. So
You really started with juicing.
yes, we early on in the treatments, my mom bought a juicer for us, and we all started drinking it. We gave it to Ruby, Ruby got a lot. We gave Ruby probably three servings of it a day. And I like juicing because it's simple. It's messy, but if you just get a ton of organic vegetables and just juice them, you can get everything you need a lot of times in 2 glasses of juice. And that doesn't mean go off and eat junk for the rest of the day, but at least it sets you up right and ready. And it actually, juicing kind of it makes you want to eat better because it just makes your system feel cleaner, I think. And so a lot of times if I know that we're going to be, going to like a wedding reception or going somewhere where you don't want to like be snubbing all the food and be rude about it, we'll just all drink juice before we go. Or if we hear that flu is going around school or some virus is going around, we just all start drinking juice a lot more. And I really think it's prevented a lot of stuff from getting into our family, sicknesses and things like that. And so, yeah, we try to at least have one glass a day, if not more. During like cold and flu season, I'll kind of up the ante a little bit. But it's just a great way. It's easy. The girls love it. They have their favorite combinations that they ask for. And yeah.
So really, juicing with children is not.
It's so easy. It's the easy. And if you had to, you could make the juice and put it in popsicle forms and make popsicles for them. And if they fight it a little bit at first, just make them drink it. You're the parent. You know what's best for them. They shouldn't be calling the shots when it comes to food because you're responsible for their well-being. and instilling good eating habits in them when they're young, and hopefully when they're older they stick with that. But if that's all they're getting and you don't give them choices, they might resist a little, but I've for the most part I would think most kids would get used to it and even look forward to it. And there's so many creative things you can do too. You can make juice, and then you could get some frozen raspberries and frozen bananas and then put the juice you made in with that and make a smoothie out of it. And my girls ask for smoothies probably more than ice cream. They just like it better. So yeah, juicing's definitely the way to go with kids, I think. So
Awesome.
yeah.
One more question.
Oh.
Why are you here today? What is it that you would like to
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess something that's really the whole thing with our daughter having cancer really brought awareness to healthy eating, and I just have a real burden for moms or dads, whoever's kind of the primary cook in the family, to realize that they have a very big responsibility in feeding their family well, and not being so concerned about fastness all the time and what they like all the time. But if you're making it, they're gonna have to eat it, and so if you're making good decisions, they're going to be benefiting greatly from it. And there's times where you get home from somewhere and you are so hungry, and I'm the primary cook in our family, and I just do not feel like coming up with like this 30-minute meal preparation that it takes to make a healthier meal, because it does take longer to cook healthier, and if you're especially if you're not prepared. But if I just, it's mind over matter. You just, what's going into their bodies is either going to hurt them or help them. And since I'm the one that's, for the most part, feeding them, I need to make the good choice here and give them what's good and not just what's easy and fast for me. So, yeah, that's just something that I'm really passionate about is just having the primary cooks in the family be providing quality foods for their family. So,
Good? Yeah.
is that okay?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Sherry, can I get you to trade out with,
Yes, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
okay, you know where it is?
Yeah.
Do you want me to switch seats with her? Okay.
And if
If
you
you
need
need
to
to
go, you
leave.
can
Is
go.
that okay if I do? Okay, because
Yeah.
this has been super fun though.
You were perfect. You were so perfect. Seriously, you were good and sincere and focused. Yeah.
Okay.